piece by piece, brick over brick, and one step after another he walks. As the broken shards of my shipwrecked heart splinter his hands and the weight of an impatient world weighs heavy on his shoulders, death grows closer to this man who's supposed to be our king and redeem the majesty that he has hidden in me, but he seems just as broken as I am and just as defeated. All his talk of freedom seems significantly cheapened since he's been beaten like a slave. His flesh hangs like tattered rags, cleaning over this mess of my life as whips stain his skin the same color as my transgressions. A crimson mural of my immoral imperfections are painted on his back as I sit back and watch the word of life take on my death sentence to pair a graphic display of love and affection. I can't help but question God, shouldn't that be me? If I'm the one that sowed, then shouldn't I be the one to reap? For my sin is indeed a seed sown deep into this ground that you've made of me. And I've played the harlot of horticulture. I've hoarded culture and tradition and submitted to their religion instead of your relationship. So with the going down of your son, I feel shunned by what I've done. So I run and hide in the fig leaves that my seed has sown me. I've grown deep inside this garden, and lies have hardened my heart. So pardon me if I don't believe in being fruitful anymore. But the only thing that multiplies here is my shame. The only thing my soul knows how to grow is colder towards you. So I thought that the hardness of my harvest would have cropped the warmth out of your love, but yet you still sent your son to die that I might become one, piece by piece. Brick by bloody brick, they beat you, black and blue shades of night spent, knees bent at the corner of my deathbed, hoping that yours would be the truth that my heart would wake up to. Instead of a nightmarish reality that my days have become, his face bears the type of pain that my shame deserves as skin is violently ripped from his body. He, short of breath for all my shortcomings, whips cut skin for the moments when I don't cut it. Nails drive deep into both hands and feet. They label him a thief as if that's supposed to be me, but he never speaks. Only lets the broken body language of his suffering explain that this as he always intended for it to be. For if my life couldn't set me free, then my death wouldn't be any different. Yes, the wages for sin are death, but even our deaths are insufficient, for it's only by holy blood is a broken heart mended. But it's only by righteous love is such righteous blood given, so they beat him within an inch of his everlasting life to show the immeasurable size of his unending love. We were sunk deep in sin since the fall of men, so he set a course for our ocean floor as if going down with the ship was his intent the whole time, as if to say that I am a lost cause worth searching for, that he would write his name on the torn pages of my story, that all honor and glory would be to the Father who authored the very book of life and is gracious enough to handwrite my name. We robbed him of his blood, just as he robbed our graves and the very tombs that we deserve to be laid in. Piece by piece, brick by brick, he becomes my sins. The very walls I built to keep him out, he lays them down so that he is now the bridge between a broken man and the God that deserves him. I've always known that sticks and stones could break my bones, but who'd have thought that a wooden cross would meet the rock of my salvation, and we trade places and his bones will be breaking for my restoration. His blood spills as payment to purchase our graves and fashion them in the newness of life, for he hangs death like an ornament and decorates the sting out of it, that we might no longer fear what is hidden in the dark, but that the darkness would fear what is revealed in us through the light. Precious is this life that paid the price for our debt, that even while we yet stood blasphemous, God demonstrates his love on display for all to see. Christ crucified, paying the ransom of the guilty in full, that we might have the fullness of life and the type of abundance that shook the shackles of death off of his body. He is risen, and he is king. He is Lord over all, and we are so loved by him, for he deserves us. He deserves us. He deserves us more than we deserved death.
January 2014. It was a frozen night. The snow had just began to sink its teeth into the ground.
So we know that you guys enjoy the content that we produce. We enjoy giving it to you. If you want to be a part of that process, if you want to be a part of allowing us to continue to give you that content with a bunch of ideas that we have, there's ideas upon ideas that we have ready to go, ready to produce. If you want to be a part of making that happen, become a patron.